Hello, ready to Purge, bring you a first-person replay commentary. I am casting this after the fact. It is a replay, and the game I'm playing today is, or the hero, is Drow Ranger, actually. A hero that I haven't made a video of in a very, very long time. The reason for that being that I actually don't like Drow Ranger that much as a hero. I don't really feel comfortable playing her. Her animation is really hard to last hit with for me, because I haven't practiced it very much, and finally I got something and that's worth posting. I'm just going to post this. Drow will be out in my hair for a long time. Hopefully I don't random her very often, because every time I do, things go generally bad. She's just one of those heroes that I almost never played in Dota 1, so I didn't really get any like lead up practice with her. I don't know. I feel weak with her. It's mostly my fault, more than the hero balance problems or anything like that. She has recently received some nerfs that have made her possibly unplayable, but oh well, too bad for her. I don't care that much though. Screw Drow Ranger. I'm so bad at last hitting with her. Maybe you guys should just skip the first 15 minutes of this. Might be a good idea. A little bit of news while we're waiting for the game to ramp up here. We did a bunch of casting last night for the Alienware Cup. We finished Group A last night. Lots of great matches. If you guys want to check out some, I'd recommend watching LGD China versus LGD Int. I casted that game with Gods, actually. Really, really fun set to watch. He was on Skype, but it was still really great. Good times. Casted that last night. We started about 2 a.m. and we went until like 7 a.m. I think, or 9 a.m. About 9 a.m. I really started passing out towards the last couple though, so it was pretty tough. But we're doing that again tonight. Except we're starting Group B, so Group B should be pretty fun to watch. Lots of cool teams. Navi's going to be there in Group B. I don't know if they're on tonight, but they are Group B, so we'll see their matches pretty soon here. Other teams are like Orange, I believe, and who else? Is IG in there? I assume IG's playing. I don't even know, man. I think it's IG, Orange, Navi, and two others that I can't remember off the top of my head. But it should be really fun to watch. So if you guys want to watch more of that, it's tonight. It starts about midnight, which is in like 6-7 hours from me recording this. It's like 5 p.m. I woke up like 2 hours ago. Yeah, it should be pretty fun. So lots more casting to do. That's twitch.tv/Beyond the Summit if you guys want to check that out tonight. So best way, by the way, if you guys are sitting at home and you're like, I don't know when 6 hours is from whenever you're watching this video, just make sure you go check my Facebook or my Twitter. I always post when I'm going live, so if you guys want to get updates about when I do casting and stuff like that, and it's not always on my stream, then that's the best way to get a hold of that. So, alright, let's talk about the game. I random Drow Ranger, of course, because I would never, ever pick this hero on purpose. She is a physical DPS carry. One of the cool things is that she has a lot of range damage, especially once you grab levels of her ultimate. If I explain her skills really quick, you've got Frost Arrows, which is a auto cast that slows your opponent. Only movement speed, not attack speed. Lasts 7 seconds, or sorry, 1.5 seconds on heroes. So generally you have to attack with Frost Arrows on just about every attack to get enough damage. Second ability is Silence. This is pretty much equivalent to what Death Prophet's working with, except the important part is Drow Ranger doesn't have very many disables, so her casting Silence is like extremely, extremely crucial. It's not something that I focused on or did a very good job with this game or others. Third skill is Precision Aura. This adds bonus damage on the physical attack of allied hero units that are ranged on a percentage of Drow's ability. Is this all heroes? On allied hero units on the map based on a percentage of Drow's agility. Let's look at Tide quick. I don't have a skill yet. We'll look later. But basically, based on whatever my agility is, it gives a percentage of bonus to them. Affects creeps as well, but only a short radius. So the problem is if you actually max this out early, it does give you more damage, but the problem is that it gives bonus damage to your range creep, and then your range creep ends up hitting harder than you're used to, and it's harder for you to last hit. And this is something that I definitely ran into while I was playing this game, is that I was having trouble catching last hits because the range creeps would get like +6 damage or something, and when a range creep only does 21, he's doing a much larger percentage of what I'm expecting him to do. So it makes it a little tough when you do end up maxing out the skill. And also, her attack animation is so bad that usually if you go for a deny, it kind of screws you up for the next last hit. So hopefully for me, I don't do obscenely horribly. I'm matching the Void right now, so it could be worse, that's for sure. With my random gold, I ended up starting off with a Wraith Band. The reason I like the Wraith Band pickup is because it gives me +9 damage, which means despite me sucking at last hitting, it makes me suck slightly less bad at last hitting. Guys, I got a deny. Are you proud of me? See, like right there, the animation was so long. It's like you have to plan into the future. You have to be able to see the future to be able to get last hits. Void is actually 3 ahead of me now, so you'll probably be able to see him just kind of like snowball out of control. I'm playing this game with Blitz and EGM, I believe. Blitz is playing Batrider, EGM is playing Outworld Devourer. think Blitz is just jungling, if I remember correctly. And I should be able to pick up boots now. If I go to purchase them, I probably will. It's generally worth having the movement speed, especially against a bounty. And I have to be a little careful, because times like that, it looks pretty obvious that he's going to most likely go into melee range and try to do some damage to me. But boots are very useful for that. He's going to grab some last hits. Yes, I got 2 last hits, guys. It's fun to watch me right click. And I can use Frost Arrows occasionally when I want to do some damage. I'm pretty sure he has a poor man's shield now. If we click over to him, it's going to reduce, yeah. That'll reduce a lot of my damage. If he blocks 20 of these guaranteed and I only do 60 damage, then I am really not hitting him very hard at all. So, wise pickup from him. He's actually spending too much time invisible, in my opinion. It's a level 1 Brain Sap. I don't... What skill this? Okay, he has Brain Sap Nightmare. Not too unexpected to see, but maybe Enfeeble would be better. It's hard to say. It's not necessarily the case. So I'm actually matching CS with the Void, so I'm not doing too bad. But probably should have bought the boots earlier. I don't think that would have been that big of a loss. One cool thing about Frost Arrows that you guys might not know, is that if you cast them manually, like if my hotkey is R, for example, so if I press R and left click my opponent, it doesn't draw aggro from either towers or creeps, since you're basically casting a spell rather than right clicking. If you A click, it's going to aggro, but if you just cast a spell by, I couldn't believe I missed that last hit, but if you use the active ability, if you cast it manually, then you're much more likely to have, or at least the creeps won't aggro. That's pretty cool. There's a chance that some weird thing might happen, like sometimes the tower changes targets and it'll target a random person if they're at equal distance or something like that. So it could hypothetically hit you and you might look confused, but in most cases it won't target you. So First Blood goes on the offlane Tidehunter. I'm actually doing okay on last city, and I seem to remember doing a lot worse than this. Maybe I'm just thinking about the other... I had a Drow game. I random Drow twice in a row. The other game went much worse. I've even seen comments in some of my videos. That game was like really... That game was really one-sided. I didn't play very well, and we had terrible heroes, so... Not a very good game for YouTube. But this one's a little bit better, so... So now that Bounty's going aggressive, I kind of have to trade hits, honestly. And things are a little scary here. I have to be pretty careful. I don't know if we had sentries or not yet. I pick up my aura here, so it should increase my damage output by 9 actually. Bounty Hunter might still go on me here, as it looks like. Yeah, this does not look good. So I'm going to ping this one. I probably should have juked more. I think if I would have juked, I almost pointed on my screen. If I would have juked into the circle a little bit more, I think I would have had a much better chance of surviving. The Bane probably should have Brain Sapped as well. I don't know if he had that up when I was trading hits with him or not. I'm not quite sure, but Bane made a little bit of a mistake there. He might have been able to save me. I'm not completely sure if he would have, though. I threw the silence as well because I didn't know if Bounty Hunter... Yeah, Bounty Hunter did apparently have a Shuriken. He was looking to throw that, but I did silence him, so he wasn't able to finish me off quite as fast. So, not the best start, but whatever. We were able to get the kill at least, so could have been worse. So yeah, this is the reason that I picked up Precision Aura and only leave it at 1. The scaling isn't that great, actually, but just picking up 1 level, if we look at... I can't know if I can click on creeps here, but I don't think I can unless I actually... I'm clicking on range creeps. I guess it's only based on what my hero's clicking on, so let's press escape. Let's go back up here, player perspective, let's go draw. Actually, let's do free camera for just a second. I want to see what the range creep damage is. It's +6 right now, which is a pretty big percentage amount. What is that, 6, 12? It's basically like a 25% damage increase for the range creeps, and I don't know if you guys can tell or not, but it's definitely doing a larger percentage of damage than they typically do in a normal situation, so... It happens, guys. It's hard to last hit sometimes. Why did I not have my hero selected? There we go. Hands off. Okay. Maxing out Frost Arrows first. I don't necessarily think this always has to happen necessarily, but the movement speed decrease is massive at level 4, up to 60%, which is really, really useful. I asked him for Sentry Wards because I didn't want to get dived by Bounty Hunter again, and he placed both of them at the same time, which is definitely a pretty big mistake. The reason being that you don't really need 2 Sentry Wards to stay alive. I also saw 2 over here for dewarding, but we haven't really had a whole lot of pulling going on. It's mostly just been me sitting in lane, so... the reason you don't need 2 Sentry Wards because it's way overkill. They only last for 3 minutes, so if you burn both of them at the same time period, that means you're only covered for 3 minutes. And sure, it covers twice the area, but once the first one runs out, it's like, well, crap, I don't have sentries again, so it's kind of a big waste. Almost pick up a level 6 pretty soon here. My last hitting's really not that bad this game. I thought it was going to be way worse, honestly. I thought it was going to be way worse than this. I don't even have my ulti yet. Oh yeah, I didn't talk about marksmanship. So, the way marksmanship changed, it grants bonus agility as you grab the skill. And a long time ago, the agility went from like 15, 30, 45, I think is how it scaled. And that it was just base agility. It was like really boring. It's a boring stat mechanic. Centaur Warrunner had a similar stat mechanic, except his was strength. So the difference now is that it gives 40, 60, 80 agility, which is a much bigger increase. Now keep in mind this is important because now that this gives more agility, this means that Precision Aura is also based on this extra agility. So when you have Marksmanship active, you get the 40 extra agi, and 16% of that goes for bonus damage. So that gives you a total of like 6 extra damage to you and all of your allies, which is pretty cool. It was a Midas pickup on the Void, by the way, since he is most likely getting pretty much free farm and decided to go for the straight Midas. I don't feel comfortable getting a Midas on Drow Ranger in my opinion. I think you really need survivability as well as maybe some kind of utility. Catapult also gets bonus damage, by the way, so you have to be really, really careful. Anyways, so you get a lot of bonus damage from the Marksmanship. When this is active, I have more armor, I have more damage, all that good stuff. But most importantly, just the way that this works is if there's an enemy hero within 375 AoE, it does nothing. And this is a very recent change to Drow Ranger. Marksmanship got a pretty serious buff before to get a big increase in agi, but the downside being it didn't give as much as it gives now, but it did also give it to you at all times. So basically, you would just farm a couple items and Drow Ranger would do so much damage. Like, look how much damage I'm doing to the tower right now. This is just with right-clicking. Like, you have so much damage because of Marksmanship that it doesn't even matter that you're a ranged hero. Like, you don't need a Battle Fury. You can just farm so fast that it gets ridiculous. You can grab, like, Helm of the Dominator. You can stack Ancients. There's a lot of little tricks you can do. But you have to be a lot more mindful about your positioning now because of the change to Marksmanship. Because if I didn't have this, if I'm losing 40 agi right now, I'm hitting for, like, 70 damage. And I'm like, who cares? Why would you play Drow Ranger if you're hitting for 70 damage? The slow arrows are okay, but really not that good. We did spot Bounty Hunter. Looked like he was coming top, so I'm just going to camp by the sentries for a bit just in case. And then we just saw him get a CS by the tower, so we'll be okay. So I have about 1,000 gold. I should start building into my items soon. I can either go for a fast BKB, I can get a Shadow Blade. Those are both pretty popular builds. I can do a Mantis style as well. Those are another option. Really wanted to kill that guy, but unfortunately, if I would have silenced him, I maybe could have gotten him, but it would have been a little tough. He was pretty far away from me. Missed that last hit as well. Just little things like that. The range creeps, they start doing like a fifth of the creep damage, and they blow them up so fast. So I was tracked right now as well, which is why I was sitting back a bit. I think I was still worried about the bounty hunter a slight amount.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
But now I can two-shot creeps too. Pretty fun. I'm considering where to skill build next. I'll put levels into Precision Aura. Oh yeah, I should talk about Marksmanship a bit more. So like I said, if you have a hero within 375 AoE of you, you'll lose your Marksmanship bonus. And this is a way to actually tell if Bounty Hunter's around. If you look at your agi, it should say plus 40 right here. And also your base damage is going to look pretty high. So Bounty Hunter getting a kill on bot. So he's ganking the bot lane. No problem for me. Might as well push this perhaps. I don't remember if I did push this or not at the time. But yeah, ooh, I'm really surprised I still got that one. But yeah, increasing my Precision Aura by now is going to give me a lot of damage. But positioning is going to be really important for my ulti, just because if there's a melee hero on top of me, I'm going to take like extra damage because I won't have any armor, and I won't do very much damage either. So I need to stay at the back of the team fights. And Drow Ranger's playstyles kind of changed a lot more to kind of be like how, very similar to how Sniper is as well. You want to sit in the back of the team fights. So should be able to take the tower. I didn't get the last hit, but I was able to help out. A lot of heroes dying in the mid lane, which I was not able to be there for. Bounty Hunter is having a really nice game so far. And 1,700 gold, I don't remember. I guess I'm buying an Ogre Club because I don't really trust myself, so I'm going to go for a BKB. BKB very useful, of course, because of both Tinker as well as Lion. Those heroes can gank me quite easily, or at least kill me if they do catch me out of position. BKB is not going to help that much against a Bounty Hunter because once he's on top of me, he's not going to get away, really. Or at least he'll be able to chase me for a while. But mostly I'm just worried about early team fight. And since we also have an OD, I'm not that concerned with necessarily having a lack of damage. So, like I said, another item build you can go is Shadow Blade. If you're doing a really good job in your lane, I have 56 CS at 11 minutes, which is pretty slow. I should have like an extra 15 above where I'm at, but again, not very good at last hitting with this hero. And if you go Shadow Blade, the problem is that they actually have a bounty hunter already, so I don't think Shadowblade is the correct item pickup, because you kind of want offensive capabilities while still having survivability. I ended up grabbing an Ogre Club and a Helm of Iron Will. The reason is because I wanted a little bit more HP for the early game, so I grabbed the Ogre Club, and then I grabbed the Helm of Iron Will, because I can build this into a Helm of the Dominator once I get a Mask of Death. And once you get a Mask of Death with a lot of lifesteal, you can actually jungle pretty easily, because because you do so much physical damage that you will lifesteal a lot, and therefore you can jungle endlessly. You can also stack Ancient Camps and go kill those later as well. So I'm playing really safe right now. Not really sure why. I could be pushing a lane. There was a medium. The pull camp is also spawned, so I could have been killing that as well. And maybe I can get a kill on this tree. I think if I do this properly, I can snag him. But he's actually running away, so doesn't look like it's going to be a possibility. If I had a Shadowblade, for example, you can initiate on that. Like if you see kills like that, you can walk up, you can break invis with a slow arrow and then silence, and then you right click the guy until he dies, and hopefully you can burst him down in that 3 to 5 second period, and hopefully you're in a good position where he isn't even going to be able to initiate on that. I'm getting ganked right now if you guys were watching the map. Tree's going really aggressive on me, which should scare me, and it does. I see, okay, why is this guy going so aggressive all of a sudden? And then I see the bounty hunter. I'm being tracked now, and we're going to see a support TP from OD. So I end up being okay here. But whenever a hero like that was previously passive just books it at you, it should be a tell that something bad's about to happen, generally. It depends really what kind of players you're playing against. At lower skill levels, I'm sure you can get away with making those silly decisions, but when you play at a higher skill level, you have to be really mindful of that stuff, because I probably would have died right there if I didn't escape or like smell something fishy from the Treon. So I'm going to continue to play way overly safe. Oh yeah, the marksmanship aura, it's this like ice thing around Drow, so if that goes away, that means somebody is next to you. So if you pay attention to the hero a lot, then you can spot invis heroes like that. Looks like there's a lot of action going on mid. I'm considering TPing for this one, which I will TP for. Right into a Chronosphere, perfect.
A true nightmare.
I missed my silence because I'm awesome. And that is going to result in me not killing him. And then Void's going to bash me 2 times in a row, and I'm going to die, and I was really happy about that one. So, again, missed my silence. If I wouldn't have missed my silence, I could have killed that Tinker for sure. He wouldn't have been able to laser me. Like, when he lasered me, I knew that I couldn't hit anything for 3 seconds, so I was screwed. I was completely screwed. Really unlucky, though, that I did get bashed twice in a row. It's a 25% chance to bash, so the chance of him bashing twice in a row is 5%. Really, really unlucky there. I could have maybe gotten out of the march, for example. I probably still would have died, I think, but it was definitely a little bit too aggressive a TP, maybe. It's hard to say. But most importantly, I missed the silence, so I didn't really deserve to live there at all. So, oh well. My first team fight, and it went badly. So I'm just going to run to the jungle for now. Silence is currently level 1. But who cares if you can't land with it? It's not that useful anyways. Might see Tide go down here. We'll see. Perfect timing on that stun. It's like right when Kraken Shell procced. That's when he got jumped on. Faces Voids are really annoying to play against as Drow Ranger though, and I found this out this game just so heavily. Because Void can just easily time walk on top of me in Chronosphere. You'll see that happening many times this game, but that was just one example. He jumped on top of me and did some right click, and I couldn't really turn and fight him that much, and even being close. So see my my aura? It goes away, just went away. Now I see a bounty hunter, and luckily for me, he threw a shuriken immediately, which meant that I could TP. That's the only stun that bounty hunter has, so I know for a fact that means that I can escape. I accidentally grabbed Tide's magic stick, which was weird, but I ended up surviving as a result. Whatever. At least I make one okay play. Bad bounty hunters are always going to throw it early, but any good bounty hunter against good players knows that they have to save it until the last second to prevent teleports. Otherwise, that's going to happen. So I end up surviving a gank because of it, and bounty hunter wastes some time. It cost me a TP and all this other stuff as well, but I'm just happy I didn't die. So back to the jungle to try to keep up my farm. When in reality, I'm doing terrible.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
I was kind of hoping that I was at this fight, to be honest. It actually went really well for us so far, though. Tide really needed a Ravage before that Chrono landed. Unfortunately, he just backtracked everything. Throw my silence, a little bit of slow, and another miss for me. A little unlucky there. But we really needed the Tide to Ravage as the Void was about to Chrono. If he would have, it would have saved Blitz, at the very least. And maybe they could have turned it around, who knows. I didn't really feel the Ravage at this point. But during the game, I remember looking and being like, okay, there's a Ravage opportunity right there. And then he missed it. And I was like, okay, he should have done that. It's distracted by the things this time, apparently. We have 2 Curs, by the way. It's pretty cool. I don't know which ones they are, but jungling's really good for Drow Ranger. Pretty much any carry that actually does a lot of physical DPS is going to be just fine at jungling. Any heroes with crits, a lot of single target lifesteal, it's not bad. I should swing over to the top lane now as the top lane is pushed in. Leaving that for nobody to get is always a mistake. And getting my marksmanship up to level 2 would help a lot as well, because I'd get a bonus 20 agility, which is 20 damage, 20 attack speed, and like 3 armor, about 3 armor for jungling, so it's pretty good. I don't know if I should have taken this camp before shifting over, but looks like there's stuff happening on the mid lane. Bane's gonna get killed.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Neutral creeps are actually pretty low gold compared to a lane creep as well. I mean, every lane creep gives about 45 gold, something like that. Some of the neutrals give about that, but usually they have way more HP than a regular creep does. So lane farming is by far better off for you than going for the jungle. So keep that in mind. So I should be able to finish my Helm of the Dominator now. This gives me plus 20 damage. I am now hitting for like 180, 190. Pretty good. I can also grab a creep and use this to fight. I can use it to stack lots of things. My Helm is really, really late though, partially because I did grab the Ogre Club earlier, but I kind of felt like I wanted more HP, especially against a Bounty Hunter, so I don't really think that was necessarily the wrong choice, considering that I haven't exactly had the best start. And 2 levels of marksmanship now, so now I hit just pretty darn hard. So I'm going to grab a Ursa Clapper. Looks like I'm going to be ganked here.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Now I'm going to clap him, and we're going to right click, and my silence is a little bit late, so he's going to be able to get away, but I end up surviving, so it's okay. And I just kind of wanted to scout things out. I was a little worried about getting dived, so I want to put the bear over here, and it's actually going to spot out a Treant, so I'm okay at playing Shen, so I wasn't too worried about getting dived, because I knew I could clap on them, or at least force a right click with the Hellbear Smasher. So in the meantime, I said, okay, let's jungle. The Tide did TP in, and he showed himself on my track, so it was known that the Tide was here. And the rest of my team actually is swinging in. I think they were looking for the Bounty Hunter, and they just dusted him, I believe. Yeah, that should be a dead hero. So pretty nice counter gank from my allies, because they knew that Bounty Hunter was aiming to pick me off. And I can go back to farming. So I'm going to send the Hellbear Smasher to the Ancient Camp to go start the stacking, which I probably should have done earlier, but I was pressured. I'm going to do some split pushing in the meantime, while it looks like there's some action going on mid. It's generally going to be really tough for us to take towers because of the Tinker. Tinker's one of the most annoying heroes for counter push, because you can just spam March twice, and no matter what happens, the wave dies pretty much. So
Radiant's middle tower
seems like,
is under
does our
attack.
Tide not have boots yet? Oh god. Oh god. That's a rough game. Okay. And it looks like I'm gonna miss my stack. I think, yeah, I did. I missed my stack. I suck. Can I kill Bounty Hunter? I might be able to if I stay in range. Let's draw Ranger's range again. It's pretty high. 625. Right clicking Mud Golems is great. Try it sometime, guys. Drow Ranger, one of the few heroes that doesn't care if Mud Golems exist. And we're going to have at least 15 more minutes of Purge auto attacks melee creeps in the jungle, so I hope you guys are ready for this. There could be some lineups where you'd advocate maxing out silence earlier, by the way. I wouldn't necessarily say that the skill build I went is the best skill build. I just thought that it was the best for my situation. If I want to push fast, maxing out Precision Ore is not that bad, because it will give a bonus damage to my ally heroes. Maxing out Silence isn't bad if they have like if they have a Weaver off lane or something like that. It sounds like a pretty good thing, because you could disable him from being able to use his escape ability. You could use it against a Puck, for example. There's lots of things. Look how much that range creep is doing. Like seriously, 40% of the range creep HP. It's insane. They hit so hard now. Looks like there's a team fight here. Luckily I do have the Agi bonus here. I was able to pick off him. I do silence the Tinker, and that was a pretty good silence from me. Gives a triple kill to the Batrider. We did lose OD in that team fight, but things went okay. One nice thing about Chronosphere is it does set up a pretty easy silence for me, but silencing Tinker is, man, it is so good against him. I'm just going to right-click this tower a little bit to do some damage, and we can back off afterwards, but with my Helm of the Dominator, I can definitely just sit there and tank the damage up. Should be able to get my stack as well. I'm like 2 seconds late here, but I think I can still get it. And in the meantime, of course, not even paying attention. I'm going to have to back up, unfortunately, because they are covering this, so. Back to the jungle. And again, I'm pretty close to BKB. Haven't really needed it that much yet, but you never really know when you're getting initiated on by support line. Most of the times that won't happen, but it was kind of nice to just show up to the team fight after the fact and then slow the bounty hunter and kill him that way. Not have to worry about being initiated on. I wonder what my GPM is at. I'm actually pretty high on last hits and denies. And I'm a little bit below Batrider and quite a bit behind the Faceless Void because he actually does have a hand of Midas. And with the treads, Midas as well as the Yasha, this guy's attack speed is pretty darn fast. It's like we're going to see Bane die pretty easily. Wasn't that fun to watch, guys? Better than watching me auto-attack creeps, right? Maybe taking the tower on the top lane was a little bit of a mistake. I'm not sure, but I am able to get the BKB up and I can buy TP scrolls now and go team fight. Silence is maxed out, so 6 seconds. I just need to basically aim this for either Lion or a Tinker, preferably Tinker. He's by far the nastier casting hero that they have. I might be able to get a solo kill here. Alright, there we go. So I put the silence on him. I still have the max agility and all this stuff and the frost arrows as well, and I'm able to get a kill. So I was pretty happy with that. Normally you can do that with like a Shadow Blade, but luckily he wasn't paying too much attention. I was able to roll up and score the kill. Drow actually has above average night vision, I believe. Bounty Hunter is regular, I think. I don't think he's anything special. Might be wrong though. But getting a solo kill at this point is really helpful. It ups my GPM by quite a bit, and my EXP per minute I'm sure is going to shift up as well. Yeah, my EXP per minute is actually pretty high, despite not having a Midas, so despite a pretty mediocre start, things are going okay. That was a Tinker. If I was paying attention, I maybe could have killed that guy. I believe that happens many times this game. And missing last hits as usual. I completely forgot about stacking for a while there. Too busy killing Bounty Hunter, I think. I'm still not very comfortable with Frost Arrows and her animation for some reason. I don't know why, but I think I need to use more auto-casting. Like, just press Alt-Q and then work on... just focus on right-clicking and attack moving, things like that might be really helpful for me. I was considering going to the bot lane, but... okay, I did go, actually. I was pretty late. We did force his BKB, which I was pretty happy about. I don't think he necessarily had to do that, but... wasn't quite sure that I wanted to go fight this just yet. Especially with the Treant here. So I'm going to stack the Ancient Camp one more time. I hope our Smasher's still here, but... so I lost 2 heroes. Not necessarily the best. Going to sell my Salve for whatever reason. Am I buying something? I don't know if that was needed. I guess I wanted an item slot or something. I'm about to hit level 16 as well, so if I can kill any of these creeps here, I'll get an extra 20 agility, which I will not pick up. So, I attack pretty darn fast. For just having a treads, essentially, I'm doing pretty serious damage. BKB only gives me 24. Helm gives me 20. So, smart of the Tinker to pick up a Force Staff because that means if I silence him and hit him with cold arrows, he actually has some kind of escape to be able to get away from me. But as you guys can see, Ancienting with Drow is so easy. You hit for so much damage, about 250 right now, so you might as well just right-click with the Helm of the Dominator. You can kill them all very, very simply. Maybe could have like waited and stacked this one more time before I killed this camp, but unless I can kill it in time, oh my god, am I going to do it?
Dire's top tower is under attack.
I did it, cool. So I was able to kill them in time. Just so much damage. We're gonna go take Roshan though, so.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
We've got a Yasha on the way as well now, which means that I'm gonna have a lot of movement speed, more agility, which means more damage for my allies. That's my GPM. I'm still not close to Void, but it's not too bad. My last hits are still way up there. Most of those are neutrals is probably the reason why. And I definitely want to pick up the Aegis. Because I have pretty good damage output, but my survivability is still pretty low, even with the BKB, so got to be quite careful. Oh, are we going to catch a hero? I was hoping he would go high ground, but he didn't get caught, so... we were able to get him. I should have BKB'd there, maybe. At this point, I'm definitely going to die, so I didn't want to pop BKB yet. Oh, that respawn is so long. I got Impale stunned. This was a really unfortunate team fight for me. I maybe should have retreated up the hill to try to get away before doing damage, but that was basically everything that could go possibly wrong there went wrong. It's just really, really perfect setup from them. They Chronosphered me for quite a long time. As soon as the Chronosphere ended, I ate an Impale, so really nice Impale from the Lion. Then I got Chain Bash to die, so then I died. And then I respawned slowly, and when I respawned, as soon as I respawned, I got hit by another Impale and more Chain Bashing. So basically, I had no chances of staying alive there because of the Chronosphere. And basically things went mostly crappy just because it took us to reach to grab the Tinker. And whenever that happens, you're going to clump. And clumping is exactly what you don't want to do against Faces Void, because then you can chrono your whole team. If we would have been in the open, like towards the middle of the river when that ended up happening, then we would have been more spread out. Him getting a Chronosphere on everybody would have been much less likely. And losing that team fight there was a pretty big loss, actually, because that was Aegis and we still didn't win the fight. It was just like perfect team fight from them, basically. So, on the bright side, I didn't waste a BKB charge because I knew there was no chance of me surviving, but whatever. So, I'll respawn and we'll go back to hopefully not losing the game. There's the KDA. I'm towards the bottom, 1, 3, and 3. I still have pretty good farm, but compared to the Faces Void, I'm not snowballing nearly as hard because of the fact that he's getting kills and I'm not. And he's grabbed a MK or a Mask of Madness now. Does he have a BKB? He does, actually. So his item build is pretty honestly good. He doesn't have any major damage items, which we can maybe criticize. I kind of personally like grabbing major items before finishing all of these small things like Yasha and Mask of Madness and Crystallis. But Mask of Madness and BKB is a very standard item build that I think is just fine, personally. So no problems with me getting that. As long as you have BKB both. It gets a little scary otherwise. If you have just MKB, it's pretty easy for people just to single target you down, so. I unfortunately missed a stack here. Not very good at using Helm of the Dominator yet. Here's the Faces Void, not a hero I really want to deal with. He's going to hand a Midas on my Centaur. I was pretty sad about that, actually. So I'll need a new creep in a second. I'm on cooldown for 35 seconds for the active. It's at 50 mana, I think. Yeah, 75 mana. It's not too bad. I was going to build into a Manta after this, just because when Faces Void jumps on you, he generally is going to be looking to bash your main hero. If you can at least Manta out, it becomes a little harder for him to tell. We're going to be able to go on the Treant here. See what happens. Looking for a Chrono, of course, and trying to get out of the Chrono. Oh, that was just a great Fiend's Grip on the Void. If we can kill him here, it'd be huge. Luckily, I was outside of it. If I can just kill this guy. I have to BKB to prevent stuns. Bashes still would have gone through, but I barely stay alive there. That's a buyback from the Void now. I was able to silence the tree there, which prevented him from ulting, which helped out a lot. But we'll see if the fight still happens. Is Void going to go in? He did buy back and he's sitting mid. Alright, looks like he's just going to go back and farm, which is smart of him. I saw a hero over there. But we should be able to take towers from that. It was a pretty good team fight. It was mostly Void misplaying hard. He basically went really, really aggressive on the Bane without popping his BKB. And he forced the Chrono. And it didn't even catch me, so... It's really, really greedy from him. I should notice that there's somebody behind me. I think I did, actually. I think I might ping in a second here. Because I noticed that my, yeah, I just now noticed there that my agility wasn't active, so I was asking for a sentry or dust or something. I figured it was Bounty Hunter, not the Faces Void. It looks like he's going to initiate on me, I assume. Now my attack speed goes back up again. Got it, guys, so worth it. I maybe should have turned and fought this a little earlier. Man, this guy bashes me so much. Did I take that? Oh, it was the Firefly that removed it. Okay. They've got BKBs up again, and we have to run for our lives. This Tide needs to Anchor Smash more. You should basically be anchor smashing on the carries every time that it's off cooldown because it reduces their damage by a lot. It's not really happening. It's a really, really long chase, but it looks like we're just about all going to get cleaned up here. I hear a Fiend's Grip on somebody. Can we kill the Void though? I don't know, that's going to be tough. Oh yeah, I remember this chase now. Of course, backtracking again. Alright, we were able to get him there at least. This line is a little greedy. Pretty easy banish. Looks like Blitz is getting chased by the bounty hunter. He's gonna be okay. So, pretty good buyback actually from EGM there. I think it was worth it. He got 3 kills out of it. I'm still dead, but do I have enough for my... No, my item progression's really not going very many places, that's for sure. My KDA is still pretty bad. My last hits are still way up there, but my GPM's at a decent number, but dying this much really hurts. It slows you down by a lot. Oh god, I don't even want to watch. I'm so sad. I'm so sad.
Watch my play at 34:30.
What?
Watch my hero at 34:30.
Okay. I knew that was coming. I'm so sorry, guys. The reason that I misclicked was I pressed the autocast, or I manually casted the ice twice, and then I like messed up. I don't know. It was like I manually casted it twice, and then I meant to keep right-clicking, but it didn't happen. I just like screwed it up. It's very frustrating because that was a guaranteed kill in the Tinker that would have snowballed me a little bit. I probably would have gotten like a Manta out of that, not to mention like an extra level. It's a really, really big screw up there. I was so sad I didn't get that. It, like, blinked onto me. It was like the easiest kill ever. Like, I had really, really greedy blinks the whole game. Should be able to kill this bounty at least, unless he BKBs, which is fine. I'm okay with that. Doesn't look good for me, guys. That was a great 4-step. And at this point, Tide is definitely 1v5, so we're just going to let him die. I got my ultimate orb at least, so an extra 10 strength and 10 agility. Int is actually not too bad at this point either, since my int is still pretty low. So hopefully in a second Manta style. And then I can remove track. That's one cool thing you can do. Not that it really matters that much. I don't think track even does minus armor anymore. 34. It's almost 34:30 here. Apparently I'm supposed to watch this.
No, it was kind of 34:40 on the clock there.
Oh, so you missed it already?
Yeah, my baller asking when you play.
Oh, that was your dodge. Alright, we'll go back and watch that when the game ends. I remember what you're talking about now. A short 300 away from Manta. Feels like we've been here forever, but it's true we have. I haven't really used my BKB that much. I feel like it hasn't really been that useful this game. It's like the places that I wanted to use it was, again, versus Line and Tinker, and it seemed like every team fight it was just me fighting Faces Void and him bashing me, and he bashes go through BKB, so popping BKB, it would prevent the magic damage from being dealt to me when he bashes, so I guess in some ways it would have been worth it for me to use that in earlier positions. But, I don't know. Hitting him there would have been a little tough. I think I maybe could have hit him, but I wasn't sure. I keep expecting, like, this Tinker he's okay at Tinker, but he's not really good at Tinker. So he's been making a couple small mistakes that I haven't been, like, in almost all scenarios, when a Tinker TPs in, we'll talk about this later. I need to get there. I actually don't have a TP scroll, so I'm going to be about 4 seconds late to this fight. I got way too close to this guy. Luckily I am able to get into ranged. Got really slowed by Time Walk, it seemed like. So now we're going to go on a Void hunting mission. I mean, at least I do have Manta style, so I'm a little bit faster. He has a Yasha as well, so it's making us pretty equivalent. I wanted to make sure that the Tinker didn't TP in, but he did actually cancel that before there. Alright guys, we got him. Actually have a pretty good chasing combo here, pretty good utility all around, so we want to fight. I think I got 2 kills out of that. I got 3. I killed Lion, Treant, and Faces Void, so super luck, guys. My GPM is still pretty high, but my item progression not really looking that good. And my KD is now middle of the pack, so things are looking a bit better now. I mean, my right-click damage is really not that bad now. Especially with Manta style, get a bunch of extra attack speed. Manta is great for Drow Ranger because all of the agility that she has applies to her illusions. I don't know if marksmanship does. You don't get the precision aura damage, of course, but if they get the 80 agility, it makes your illusions pretty good. Pretty good for pushing and things like that.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
God, I do so much damage to buildings. It's seriously insane. This guy's obviously looking to initiate.
Radiant's bottom tower has fallen.
Nope. So yeah, silence is really good against some heroes. Just have to time things right. I think silence is actually a little undervalued, but the downside is that the heroes that can pick up an ability that does AoE silence, it's basically Drow Ranger, and it is Death Prophet. Those are your two options. Neither of them is super viable at the moment. But I think AoE silence like this is just so useful. I mean, think about how many times you can pick up an Orchid and just hard counter somebody. It's kind of similar here. If you can just silence a Tinker, it prevents him from doing a lot of nasty things. For example, why did I see those marches? They must have been over here. So I waited a second to see if anybody else wanted that, but I'll snag the Aegis again. Not that it did that much for me in the last fight, but... EGM sitting at 10, 10, 11. Void's sitting the best. I am in about middle of the pack again. I'm gonna use Manta to push out use my illusions to push mid a bit. It might not be worth doing this all the time, because you know now my Manta's on cooldown for quite a while. It's a 50-second cooldown here, but I can at least push the waves a bit. Probably not really that worth it to do it with EGM pushing though. He could have gotten those CS instead of me, for example. And I'm very close to being able to pick up an Eagle Song. I was a little unsure if I wanted to go MKB or Eagle Song at this point, though. If we look at Bounty Hunter to see what he has, he doesn't have any evasion quite yet. Faces Void has a Daedalus, actually, which I was looking at, I believe, right now. And surely he's going to make a Butterfly later. It's a pretty common Faces Void item, so especially because I'm behind, it might be wise for me, rather than going for a Butterfly and just going for the safe defense, than to go for an MKB and predict his BKB or his Butterfly pickup. Because if there was a timing window where he had a Butterfly and he's got backtrack on top of that, it just makes it like 40% chance that I won't do any damage with an attack to him, which is a timing window I just can't deal with since I'm behind. So I made a Manta to push this out. I was a little worried about getting ganked. So I just put my illusions down and run for the hills. So. And that is the Faces Void. So pretty happy I left. Still haven't really been stacking very much this game. I think I lost my creep a while ago. But I actually see the line looking like he was coming towards me. And I wasn't sure if we wanted... I think we're talking about pushing right now as well. I could spend my money and purchase at least the Demonage if needed. I don't know if I did it now or later, but... Should be using the Helm of the Dominator more. I don't know if I was. I could use that Centaur creep, I think. Don't know if I noticed it, though. Looks like we're going to lose our OD here. Turn around, let him die. He's going to buy back, though. So we should be able to... Wasn't sure if I should glyph this or not. I wonder if I should have TP'd. I don't think I got there in time. Yeah, I did not. That was really unfortunate we didn't deny that. Probably should have teleported as soon as I saw it. I was hoping I could get there in time to save it, but it didn't happen. So a lot of extra gold going to the Radiant team. I'm catching up a bit, though. I mean, this is really the strength of Drow, is that even if you start a little rough and don't necessarily do the best, her right-click damage is so serious that you can jungle insanely fast, and really all you need is lifesteal. Once you get lifesteal, your passive abilities can give you insane damage output. I mean, I'm level 21, for God's sake. I haven't been in that many team fights. My EXP per minute is second highest in the game. This guy's a Midas, so... Definitely wish I was at this team fight a bit faster, but we got blown up pretty fast, so we'll see if we can counter-initiate. I got hexed. Pretty good Ravage. Unfortunately, the Chronosphere kind of burned through everything. I really wanted to kill the Lion here, but my Ice Arrows were really late, and the one that I needed missed. So despite the start of that looking a little shifty, we were able to survive with the Aegis. If we didn't have Aegis, though, that fight wouldn't have gone nearly as well. I really wanted to kill the Lion because he was at like 40% HP, but unfortunately, didn't get him. That's probably why I should just use auto casting, because I mean, if my first arrows that hit would have been the frost arrows, he would have taken him a while to get uphill, and once he was uphill, it was kind of hard for me to score the kill. So I should really just auto cast a lot more, rather than trying to manual cast, at least on this hero. Like, I feel comfortable on Viper, because Viper doesn't have that many actives to do. He's a pretty straightforward hero. He just, like, ult and poison. And positioning isn't that big of a deal, because you're a tanky hero anyways. But when you're playing a hero like Drow, where you have to worry about being close to enemies, and you have to manage BKB cooldowns and Manta styles and things like that, and you have to silence at appropriate times, it's a little bit harder. So I think I might adjust my play in that way. That might help me get less flustered in team fights. Maybe playing her more is the main issue, but I could also blame autocasting a lot, I think. Because killing that line should have happened, I think. And I definitely should have killed the Faceless Void as well, but I didn't notice that he got gripped in the fight. I definitely got tunnel vision on the on that line. So we take a tower though. Not sure if we're gonna push off this because everybody's gonna be respawned now. But I've got about 6,000 gold, so I should be able to finish an MKB or other damage item. And I think I checked Void's items, and he did have an Eagle Song, so I was like, okay, it has to be MKB now. I'm gonna get my MKB as he finishes his Butterfly, which is overall good for me. Getting the mini stun isn't bad either, because I can interrupt things like Tinker's Rearm. Can 3-shot Mud Golems, good sign. Looks like we're gonna have a fight going here. I think that Astral should have been on the Bat Rider. Slight mistake from him. Doesn't look good, guys. Got my MKB. Still dead. So that should be everybody dead. And that is definitely a Rex. Kind of looks like the end of the game. Do a backdoor protection, we do at least for a little bit. So that helps. Oh, that glyph was way too early. That was a mistake glyph. I don't know who pressed that one, but we were getting backdoor regen. You should at least wait until the tower's missing like 20% HP before you use the glyph, because then during the time that's glyphed, it'll backdoor regen up to full. If you use it when it's full, I don't know if that math necessarily works out, but I think it does. If you glyph it at full HP and it's just going to backdoor regen like 40% of that anyways, then you should have waited so it could have gotten more out of it. So we lose the racks. On the bright side, they haven't taken our tier 2 towers, and that might have been the only thing that saved us here, actually. Because if the tier 2 tower was dead, they definitely would have gotten to 2 racks. So that helped a lot. They're going to be able to take the tier 2 bot, but it looks like that's the worst that's going to happen to us. So I was really close to us just losing the game right there. I completely looked over like this. Looks like Bounty Hunter picking up a MKB as well. Aghanim's online. It was an EV on the Tinker. I don't know if he has a Dagon or not. He has not gone Dagon. He actually went Side of Ice, so pretty good item pickup though against heroes like Drow Ranger. Against Drow Ranger and OD, if you can go Magic Immune, it's pretty nice. Or sorry, Ethereal. You can block a lot of their damage, so it works out pretty good. So if I was really, really, really far ahead this game and I had BKB, Manta Style, and a Helm of the Dominator, I would have gone Butterfly. Most likely. I was already Magic Immune basically, and if I was an item ahead of them, that would have been the right choice. But since you're behind, I think getting an MKB is necessary. If he would have gone Butterfly instead of Daedalus, though, I would have had to get the MKB even still. But if he went this exact same item progression and I was item ahead of him instead of him being an item ahead of me, I would have gone Butterfly first, most likely, just so that I could evade some of his bashes. That would have been really, really helpful. Downside is if he Chronospheres me, you don't have evasion anyway, so it wouldn't have done that much technically, but it's an option. Looks like I was thinking about fighting this. My illusions were hitting him. The reason I was doing this is so that he couldn't blink. Really helpful. And I'm able to silence him as well, and a couple right clicks we're able to pick him off. I did get my BKB off this time, but it looks like it doesn't matter still. That does so much damage. Oh, it was a great Fiend's Grip. Backtrack, son of a bitch. You got so many good backtracks. Was able to get the line. Man, I can't believe that Faceless Void lived. It was a really good Fiend's Grip, but we didn't quite get him. Guys, you know it's coming, don't you? You know it's gonna happen right now. I don't even think I wanted to watch it. Did he just go back for last sitting? Guys, he just went back for last sitting. Can't believe he did that. He should have run back. Is that a BKB usage? I think he did BKB for that. So BKB is down to 4 seconds for Void at least. If he did burn a charge like that, it's not the end of the world. Could have been not too bad. We've had a lot of dying on our team, as you guys can see on the scoreboard. A lot of our supports have been doing iffy. So next item from here on out, Satanic would be useful to give me more overall HP. Again, Butterfly would be kind of nice. Chronosphere removes evasion, so it wouldn't help me that much. Most of the time Void hits me, it's during Chrono anyways, which I can't do anything to stop. Unless I like Blink Dodge it or something, which I'm not going to buy a Blink Dagger. So, kind of puts me in a weird spot. My Edgy is still really, really good, but
top tower has been denied.
if I got an Ethereal Blade, how good would it be? 200 damage? It'd be like, could do like a 500 damage nuke or something. I don't remember what if it is it 2 or 2.5 times. I don't know. Can I check in the shop? Not with player perspective. I'll just leave it, whatever. A question that doesn't need to be answered because you don't do magic damage anyways with this hero. Wouldn't be worth it. So I'm going to pick up level 23. Lots of bonus stats here. Again, my EXP per minute's relatively high. Your level? Okay, yeah, I'm way up there. Still lower half of the pack. Not having a good time. I'm going to take the Alpha Wolf though. It's pretty good bonus damage. It gives me 30% extra, which is based on your primary stat, by the way. So that means all of this marksmanship plus Agi that I'm getting is also added for the 30%. So now I'm hitting, it kind of looks like I have a Divine Rapier level of damage, but really I just have like a couple of mediocre damage items. MKB not mediocre, of course, but... So I could take this in my next team fight, and sometimes Drows do this, or use it to also Roshan. They'll grab a Centaur for attack speed, or they'll grab a Pack Leader for the 30% damage. And it helps you do a lot more. You can take camps a lot faster. So I'm going to stack this, I think, and then either farm this or take Roshan, because it looks like Roshan is up based on the minimap. Or maybe we will defend a push, not quite sure. But I do have a TP scroll, so even if a fight happens in the next 15 seconds, I will be there for that. But in the meantime, I will take camps, because I do so much damage. It's incredible. Looks like I need to be there. Why am I not TPing? I'm confused. I definitely should have TP'd like 5 seconds earlier, I think. Our Bane got a little scared then popped his BKB, so he's not going to be BKB now. I think he was the one that got initiated on us, was why that happened. Oh, that is definitely a lion. Pretty aggressive ward there, and it was actually within the tower range as well, so we get the easy kill. So we might be able to turn this into a fight now. We don't have the Aegis, but with the line being dead, they're lacking a lot more disables. So as long as I don't get Chronosphere killed, guys, it's going to be a good time. We can see Faces Void, but we did use the Flaming Lasso. I think Blitz is trying to bait out a Chronosphere so that he can blink away. Pretty sure. And maybe we can jump on that mid. Yeah, wow, Odie is actually over here. I'm going to silence on the tree at least. Ravage almost caught the Tinker, but it didn't. And luckily I was on the outside for once, so it's really nice. I almost got it within the grip. It's a nice EB from the Tinker. I was really unhappy with this Nightmare. I should use my illusion to break it, but I didn't. And then he gets a blink off. It was a nice blink from him. Or I also could have popped my BKB and just right-clicked him because Nightmare wouldn't have worked on me. So those are my choices. I chose not to do it because I don't want to use a BKB. I didn't feel like that was worth it. So, but I definitely should have just used my illusion to break the Nightmare, but I lost track of them during the fight. So I should have probably also killed the Tinker during the Chronosphere. It was a Chronosphere Fiend's Grip. I did some damage to the Tinker. If I just would have silenced him and maybe right-clicked the Frost Arrows, I possibly would have killed him. But we still ended up winning the fight. So, not horrible. This tree's crazy, guys.
Roshan has fallen
I got the Aegis. I waited to pop BKB until a bit later. Still do pretty good damage, so I should be able to get a couple of these guys. Finally, I'm really able to get a lot of kills here. My hero was definitely useful. Don't know if we can get the Tinker. It's pretty fast. So 5,000 gold now. Satanic, Butterfly. I could go Daedalus if I wanted to as well. You can crit and lifesteal from that crit. Pretty useful. See what the CS are at. I'm finally in the lead. I don't think my GPM is the highest though. Pretty sure it's not. Gold per minute. I am still second. My kill death assist is still middle of the pack. I definitely could have done much better this game. It's not even close to a question. We're just gonna kind of go high ground and punch buildings because we want to get this stuff killed. Is that a Tinker? Ooh, that's a Tinker. I was able to silence him. And of course I die in like 4 hits. Great Fiend's Grip. That saves the OD. It's a really nice Fiend's Grip. That helped us win the game right there. I mean, that stopped OD before you could... I'm sorry, it stopped Void before you could kill OD. I was able to stay alive as well, so... Now they have 2 core heroes that are dead. Both Tinker getting killed as well as Void getting dead are huge. And we should be able to just end the game here, I think. I mean, I do so much right-click damage. And we're all ranged heroes as well, so we all get this bonus from my aura, so... I think we're all getting like 50 damage or something. 57 damage, yeah. And they have to fight right now. They have to. My BKB's a bit late. Or early, I think. I should have waited to use it after the overgrowth, I think. So they basically had to fight with 3 because they tried to end the game, or tried to hold the game from ending, and we could easily win a 5v3, so that's why we ended up winning. So, a small pick off on Tinker there, faces Void as well, and we're able to swing things. So really close game. Not the best play for me, but we ended up taking it, surprisingly. And my KD looked okay at the end, as did my GPM, but it was a really rough start. Was able to farm enough and contribute, but Void, man, that guy counters Drow pretty easily. Just jump on him and kill him during the Chronosphere. We're going to go back really quick so we can let Blitz show off. 34-30, is that it? Was it 34-30? We'll even watch your player perspective. Wait, is this the right time? Oh yeah, we're like 20 seconds early. So here's the Faceless Void. Grab the Bat Rider, or the Bounty Hunter. Alright, this is the cool part. Here comes the cool part, guys. Alright, 34-30. Nothing cool is happening. Alright, there's a Hex. Okay. Alright, there's a stun. Is this it? Okay, just making sure. Oh, this looks perfect. Okay. Hey, you didn't dodge it, you took the damage.
Yeah, no, but it went as. You can't dodge the wood.
What? You can't dodge finger?
Yeah.
I thought you could. I guess you can do like phase shift it and stuff like that to prevent the damage.
Can't blink dagger.
Okay. Blitz Dota, guys. Live on the Purge show. Alright, cool. So yeah, that's the end of the game. Let's go skip back to you if you guys want to see the final. Oh god. Let's go here. This is where the game ended. Scoreboard. Where's the scoreboard? Boom. There it is. That part you can't actually speed up, so the scoreboard coming up. Alright, so there's a scoreboard. Once again, decent KDs, more items, things like that. And that's Drow Ranger, so I would do a skill build around that. If you guys don't want to get BKB, you can go Shadow Blade early. You can use it offensively. Manta's pretty darn good for pushing, things like that, so... What else? Daedalus is an option if you want more damage. You can MKB, of course, if you want to do True Strike through any evasion heroes, or worrying about mini stunning to stop people from TPing. There's lots of things that you can do that are kind of fun. But that's Drow Ranger. I'm not going to play her for a very long time because I don't find her enjoyable. And I'm sorry if you do. Okay, thanks everyone for watching. Make sure to tune in for us. We're going to be casting more of the Alienware Cup, not Eastern Qualifiers, Alienware Cup tonight. We're starting Group B. I'll be casting some of the games, so if you guys missed some of that, that's where you can find it. I think I'm going to link some Twitch VODs down below so that you guys can see some of the games from last night. If you're curious, the LGD China and the LGD Int ones were especially good that I casted with Gods, and I also casted with Blitz the second set. I was a lot more tired during that one, so those games weren't as well done by me, but if you guys are looking for something to do, that's what you can do. Okay, I will see you guys later. Go follow me on Facebook or Twitter if you guys want to see when the next streams are coming up tonight, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.